Hey, this is Gary Beers from In Excess.
Don't change me up. Don't change a thing for me.
And you are listening to the New Wave Podcast.
You're tuned into the New Wave Music Podcast, your go-to destination for exclusive interviews, album reviews, and the latest music news. And now, here's your host, Steve.
Well, it's that time of year we're going to do a look back on the top albums of 2025. And not only that, but I've got a special guest with me here in the studio. T-Bone, welcome back.
Well, Steve, it's a pleasure to be back. It's been a while. And, you know, as people probably, some people at least probably know, Steve and I have been friends for 30 plus years. So even though I may not be on the podcast anymore, we're talking all the time and we're talking music and everything. So yeah, it's a pleasure to be back.
Well, we really haven't chatted music in depth, so I'm really curious to see what your top 10 is and what my top 10 is. So let's jump into it.
All right, Steve. Well, I'm going to start off with number 10, Ashes and Diamonds. So Daniel Ash of Bauhaus and Love and Rockets may not want to embrace his new wave post-punk past, but you wouldn't know it from this album, which is a collaboration with Bruce Smith and Paul Spencer Denman. This is filled with songs that sound like no time has passed from those glory days. And I think a perfect example for this album is the song Plastic Fantastic.
No tricks, only treats. The secret is out. We're having a blast. We're living the dream. Plastic fantastic. Plastic. La 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 la.
Well, T-Bone, my number 10 was going to be Shriekback's Monument. Monument is a dark, atmospheric album that blends groove, tension, and philosophical reflection. Shriekback remains fearless in their experimentation, creating music that feels uneasy, hypnotic, and alive. It's a record that demands attention and rewards repeated listening. And the standout track for me was The Curse.
You and your mama had a thing for the drama. This trauma born of pleasure, we can work through it together. And the first cut, as they say, will be the worst. When the worst fill up until they burst, could be the curse.
A hypnotic groove that builds on tension, texture, and mysterious lyric undertones. It's the perfect entry point into the album's dark world.
All right, let's go to number 9. And for me, it's going to be the newest from the Blow Monkeys, Birdsong. It's so nice when a band loves what they do, and that really seems to be apparent with the Blow Monkeys. They continue to put out new albums every couple of years. Here, they've added a number of smooth tracks, many very reminiscent of their early works. And on this one, I would go with the example of The Penny Drops.
I'm crawling long just like a king snake, while you're buzzing like a fly until the penny drops. Until the penny drops. Till the penny drops. Until the penny drops.
But my number 9 is Suzanne Vega's Flying with Angels. Vega's return to her original material is thoughtful, poetic, and powerful. The album focuses on resilience, voice, and observation, with arrangements that support rather than overshadow her storytelling. It's a mature, reflective work that feels both intimate and deeply reflective. And for me, the standout track was Speaker's Corner.
Has now become more like a child, bewildered and confused. I keep on believing it's what I know how to do. Speaker's Corner, there it stands, politics and song. When it's time to tell your tale, don't wait too long.
A lyrically sharp, narrative-driven piece blending quiet strength with melodic elegance. All All right, T-Bone, and my number 8 is going to be the newest from Men Without Hats, On the Moon. It balances nostalgia with modern polish, allowing Men Without Hats to celebrate their legacy without being trapped by it. The album is playful and self-aware, combining classic synth-pop textures with smooth production. It's a reminder that joy and curiosity still fuel the band's creative spark. And for me, that standout track's got to be their first single, I Love the 80s.
I love the 80s. I love the 80s. The decade that made me. I love the 80s. Terminator, come and save me. I love the 80s. Latchkey crazy, crazy about the 80s. La 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 la. 80s rock the world.
A playful, synth-soaked love letter to the decade that defined the band, full of clever musical nods and irresistible charm.
Okay, and my number 8 is going to be the latest from the Armory show called Dead Souls. This may be a band that you're less familiar with. They only had one album from 1985, and they even changed the spelling of the band for this album. That 80s album is a hidden gem, and one I'd also highly recommend. And this album sounds like no time has passed by. Perfect example on that is the title track, Dead Souls.
Where do we go from here? Everything seems so clear. There's only you and me, the oceans and the seas, penetrating dead souls. Just another dead soul, another dead soul, another dead soul, another dead soul.
Moving on to my number 7 is going to be the newest from The Farm, Let the Music Take Control. The Farm leaned fully into positivity and rhythm on this groove rhythm return. Rooted in their Manchester heritage, this album emphasizes unity, movement, and music as a collective experience. While socially aware, it never feels heavy-handed, instead inviting listeners to lose themselves in rhythm and optimism. The standout track is going to be the self-titled track, Let the Music Take Control.
Can you feel the music take control? Let the music, let the music, let the music take control. Let the music, let the music, let the music be your song.
A euphoric dance floor ready call for connection through beat and rhythm.
Okay, and my number 7 is actually going to be Peter Murphy's Silver Shade. Now, Steve, listening to your review on the album, I could tell that you had mixed feelings. I, on the other hand, found it nearly brilliant. Murphy is in fine form, his voice bellowing with that gothic sound he's so well known for, but adding many synths to his repertoire to give these songs additional life. On that album, I would definitely recommend Sherpa as one of the best songs on the album. All right, and so my number 6 for the year is Night by Night. Of course, that's spelled N-I-T-E if you're looking for them. And Steve, from your interview with Night, I knew you were a big fan, and I liked what I heard from them. But it's this album that sold me. A combination of some darkwave, and sometimes I get a little tired of darkwave. It sounds a little bit the same all the time. But this one has a lot of that classic new wave synth pop sound. And a perfect example on this one is the song Oblivion, My Obsession.
She cuts me up like a knife, but it feels like fun. She scares me in my dreams, I just can't run. Oh, oblivion. Oh, my obsession.
Well, T-Bone, my number 6 is going to be Billy Idol's Dream Into It. This album finds Billy reflecting on his life and legacy while still delivering the energy fans expect. The album balances autobiographical with forward momentum, mixing classic Idol swagger with moments of vulnerability. It's confident without being complacent, proving that Idol can still evolve while staying true to his identity. And for me, the standout track is going to be Still Dancing.
I smashed hotels and hurt myself, but I always stayed a believer. It's been a long ride, but I'm still dancing. Now I ain't alone. I got everything I need next to me, right here in my bones. I'm still dancing. Now I'm in control.
A punchy, uplifting anthem that captures Idol's enduring charisma and his instinct for big, infectious hooks.
All right, we're halfway through. So at number 5, mine is the Chameleons and their album Arctic Moon, another band that was more than 20 years between albums and a welcome return. Songs range from intimate to arena anthems, something that seems counter to who the Chameleons are, but they all work. And one example I would say on that one for absolutely is Where Are You?
All right, well, my number 5 is going to be the latest from Ian McNabb, If It Wasn't for the Music. Ian McNabb's album feels like a heartfelt conversation about a life lived through music. It's warm and deeply personal. The record reflects on creativity, memory, and the emotional refuge music provides. Rather than chasing trends, McNabb leans into sincerity and his songwriting craft, making this album feel timeless and deeply human. And for me, the standout track's got to be the self-titled track, If It Wasn't for the Music.
If it wasn't for the music, what would we do? If it wasn't for the music, how would we get through? So children play on. Maestro, you're not yet done.
The emotional centerpiece of the album, a touching autobiographical meditation on how music has carried McNabb through joy, struggle, and every moment in between. It's tender, sincere, and deeply resonant. My number 4 album is going to be the latest from David Byrne, Who is the Sky? David Byrne continues to evolve without losing his identity, delivering an album that's curious, collaborative, and full of life. It's backed by the Ghost Train Orchestra. Who is the Sky mixes art pop with rich ensemble arrangements, pairing playful observations with deeper questions about humanity and connection. It's thoughtful without being heavy, clever without being distant. And the standout track's got to be the first single, Everybody Laughs.
Everybody wonders what you're gonna do. Everything is closer, everything is true. Everybody's starting everything again. Everybody's outside now, they're coming in. Everybody's going through the garbage, looking for inspiration. Some will find it staring at the ceiling of the subway station.
A lively, rhythm-forward track mixing humor and an existential reflection through Byrne's signature lens.
All right, and my number 4 is one of the new wave revival bands, Franz Ferdinand, and their album The Human Fear. New wave revival is a real thing, and the latest from Franz Ferdinand is a perfect example. Filled with incredible hooks and outstanding musicianship, this album just shows that new wave sound continues well past the 80s and the early 90s. And as an example on that one, I would say the song Build It Up.
Less critically, I see no truth as mythical. No, vast unreachable. Give me strength to overcome. Give me strength, I'm not gonna run. Build it up, you gotta
And my number 3 is going to be the latest from Claudia Brucken, Night Mirror. It's a redefined late-night album that plays to Claudia Brucken's strengths, mood, and emotional nuance. The production is sleek but restrained, allowing space for reflection as Brucken explores memories, longing, and self-awareness. It's an album that rewards quiet listening, revealing new emotional layers with each spin. And the standout track for me on this one was Shadow Dancer.
I dream in black and white, no color for tonight, my shadow dancer. My shadow spinning far away, looking all around in my sleepy satellite. My shadow dancer. Spinning far away, looking all around, further than I know. Got no one to answer.
A seductive pulsing highlight that brings movement and allure to the album's tone.
Okay, and my number 3 is going to be the latest from The Vapors, Wasp in a Jar. So many of the new wave artists went years, decades between albums, and The Vapors was another example. But it was only a few years between their most recent and this one, and they have that sound down, and they never have missed a beat. Perfect example on this one is my favorite song on it, Non-Stop Radio.
Non-stop radio, everybody singing along. They make me laugh, they make me smile, they make me stand up and dance for a while. They keep me young, they keep me clean, they make me feel like it's all been a dream. It's like a non-stop radio playing all my favorite songs. Non-stop radio, everybody singing along.
All right, Steve, we're down to the top 2. So at number 2 for me is, one that you had just a moment ago, Ian McNabb's If It Wasn't for the Music. This could easily have been my number 1. Anyone who's listened to this podcast knows that I am a huge fan of Ian McNabb. So much of this album is about music and the joy of that music. And fittingly enough, the song that I would go with on this one is A Joyful Noise.
Folk going about their day realize what they've been missing. They stop watching the rolling, you stop listening to politicians, making up the lost time as they go about their mission. It's a joyful noise, a joyful noise.
All right, T-Bone, and my number 2 is going to be from a newer new wave artist, Julian Shaw Taylor with Hone Tentame. This album, Julian confronts emotional duality, who we are versus who we pretend to be, with striking vulnerability. The album moves between cinematic electric soundscapes and intimate confessional moments, creating a powerful emotional arc. It's a raw personal record that never feels self-indulgent, instead inviting the listener to its emotional unraveling and eventual clarity. And for me, the standout track on this one is Fall Apart.
You can see my dreams turn to dust. You can hear my words drift away, day by day. You can watch my life fall apart for your very eyes. So beautiful, so beautiful.
A vulnerable synth-pop gem that captures an emotional collapse with a soaring melodic lift.
All right, we are at number 1. And so my number 1 is one that you had just a little bit lower on your list, and it is The Farm's Let the Music Take Control. I never would have thought that The Farm would make a return. It's been nearly 20 years since their previous album. But this album, full of amazing music and incredible positivity, something that you also mentioned, Steve, tops my list. You mentioned with their title track, love it. I'm going to go with Forever and Ever.
We shine so bright together, forever and ever. Take a good look at me. These are the days that'll set you free. Take a good look at me.
Well, T-Bone, and my number one's one that you also mentioned a few albums ago is going to be the self-titled album from Night. Here, Night delivers an emotionally and sonically immersive album that solidifies the band as one of the most compelling voices in modern darkwave. Blending broody synth textures with post-punk grit, this record explores pain, recovery, and personal reckoning without ever feeling melodramatic. There's a sense of honesty running throughout the album. Every track feels lived in, purposeful, and emotionally grounded, making it a powerful late-night listen. And for me, the standout track is All Your Pain.
When the lights go down, I will hold your waist. Talk to me, don't let the time go. Talk to me, where did our minds go? I can feel all your pain.
A haunting, slow-burning track of shimmering synths and aching vocals that embodies the album's emotional heart.
So this is interesting, Steve. We had some similarities, but we had a lot of stuff that we didn't have on each other's list. Not something that's really happened all that much in the past.
No, and so I really enjoy having you on here as a counterpoint. And
Yeah.
there's a couple albums on here like Franz Ferdinand that I completely forgot about. I'm going to have to check that out, and who knows, maybe we'll add a couple of these to a future review.
There you go.
Well, as tradition too, we've got through the best, but let's discuss the worst album of 2025. And for me, T-Bone, I don't know if it's going to be the same for you, but the worst one that I listened to, it came out right at the end of 2024, but I didn't get to it till 2025, so I'm counting it for 2025. And that's going to be Some Dreams by A Flock of Seagulls. This feels less like a proper album than more like an obligation fulfilled. The lyrics are painfully simplistic, often bordering on placeholder phrases rather than finished ideas. And the performances from Mike Score lack any sense of urgency or passion. Mike Score actually sounds completely disengaged, delivering songs that feel written and recorded on autopilot. Nowhere is this more obvious than on the track Him.
Because I know you're with him. So don't tell me where you've been. I know you're with him. So don't tell me where you've been. I know you're with him. So don't tell me where you've been. I know you're with him.
This song is so flat and undercooked, it perfectly sums up the album's course problem. A legendary name attached to materials that feels uninspired, forgettable, and unnecessary.
Well, Steve, I went with something completely different for the worst of the... No, I'm just kidding. Of course I didn't. It was Flock of Seagulls, Some Dreams. If you heard our episode where we reviewed this album, you know that I absolutely despised this one. And I'm not going to use as many words as you did because I don't want to give them the publicity that they certainly don't deserve. This album simply lacks any sort of creativity and is filled with cliche after cliche. Done.
Well, T-Bone, and not to end this segment on a downer, I'm probably going to call a little bit of an audible. I don't think I told you about this one. I've also got an album that I discovered in 2025 that didn't come out this year, but I discovered it and I was pleasantly surprised. And that album's going to be The Beauty and the Chaos from EMF. I found this album balancing EMF's edge and pairing sharp songwriting skills with a sense of urgency that feels completely current rather than nostalgic. It's confident, emotionally charged, and packed with hooks, proving that the band isn't just revisiting their past, they're expanding it. And really, I've got two standout tracks, Hello People, a bold opener that immediately grabs your attention, and the song The Day the Music Died. reflective, hard-hitting track that captures the album's emotional weight and depth of the album. That's going to wrap it up for this episode. A huge thanks to T-Bone for dropping by the New Wave Studios and sharing his top 10 albums of 2025 with me. It was great to catch up and hear from our old co-host. Coming up on the next episode, I'll be back with more reviews, including the latest releases from Men Without Hats and Sparks. Once again, I've successfully strong-armed Don into returning to help break those down.
If this is your first time listening, we thank you and ask that you please subscribe. That's a great way to support us. And if you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to leave us a 5-star review. You can also find us on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search for New Wave Music Podcast. We'll catch you on the next episode.